Die Hard. All right, let's roll, boysies.
Die Hard.
Yo.
Die Hard was my favorite 90s movie. Die Hard 4.0.
Grim, that came out in 89.
Die Hard 4.0 did.
2000 something.
What? The original Die Hard.
Die Hard, the original Die Hard came out in 89, I believe, or 88, but I'm pretty sure it's 89.
89.
Yeah.
Which one came out in the summer of 69?
Actually, technically, the one Frank Sinatra played,
Oh,
John
he did a Die
McClaren.
Hard.
It was technically a John McClaren detective story.
Wow. Also, it was based off.
So
That
it's a
was
series
based
of books.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know that.
So
That's-
Frank Sinatra was original. What's his character's name? John McClane. That's it.
That was the name of the dude, John McClane.
Yep.
This is literally, we're seconds in, already coming up with
Boom.
some stuff. Yeah.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Sydney's fucking best comedy hangout, the Sausage Boys podcast. Y'all, this is your host, the South Coast poster child, the mannequin from Newtown, Jackson Grant.
He's here.
It's great to be here. And as always,
It's nice to be here.
my co-host goes by the name of the Terry Crews of Sydney, the Steamroller. Crivialo.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
How the hell are you, my dude?
I'm going good.
Booyah! We got a very special guest in the house.
A very special guest.
First time on the pod. Man that's doing a lot for the Sydney comedy scene and probably the Australia scene if we're...
It's Australia in general.
Probably for the world in general, I reckon.
Yeah.
This is Seizure Kaiser, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
I'm a bit nervous here. You're the guy in Sydney for Sydney comedy.
According to Jackson, but what the fuck would he know?
Nice. We're coming out of the gate. Good.
Coming out of the gate.
Taking some attacks on him.
This is like where you go like applause effects and everything. This is cool.
Yeah, it's the morning.
Yeah.
It's a morning radio show. We're here. It's 9 o'clock.
But I love how you're like,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, which lady is listening to this? It's a Sausage Boys podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got
That's
Liz
true.
Elliott
Yeah.
listening to
Oh,
this.
fair enough. Hey, Liz, how you doing?
Yeah. Hello, Liz.
I haven't looked at the metrics because I want to stay in this fantasy world that women are listening to.
It goes men 35, women Liz.
That sounds like a really nice metric to me. I don't know. I think that's some great stats.
Sounds like a fun party.
This is like a really fun party.
I have no idea what to expect. I have never listened to your podcast. I will say that.
listened to
No,
it?
even when you did that live show that I produced at the Fringe last year, I was busy running another show, so I couldn't even
Oh,
watch
you didn't
it.
even come in?
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
Because our whole thing is basically we slowly strip down as the podcast goes on.
All right, and what's new? It's like every other podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Strip show.
Pretty much.
They strip down in
You
the clothes.
bare your soul.
That's true. Well, we do actual physical, so you can start.
Well, lucky it's a cold night, everybody.
Yeah, luckily it is a cold night, so we have some
Might
excuses.
have to bunch up together to stay warm, fellas.
yeah.
Yeah, where can people find you first of all?
Well, you can find me on most socials at I am Seizure, or you can find me mostly on my channel, Comedy on Edge.
Comedy on Edge.
Yeah.
Booyah.
I'm a big fan of Comedy on Edge. I watch
thank
it.
you.
I watch it religiously.
Cool. You've been watching the battles?
I have been
The
watching a
battles
lot of the
is
battles.
all time, yeah.
Yes.
We just got first place twice in a row in the worldwide roast battles for those last two roasts.
What does that mean? What do you mean worldwide?
So
roast
the
battles?
guys that created the roast battles, they've
Yeah.
now created a league for that keeps scores of which countries is doing the best.
What? Wait, that's Jeff Ross?
No, it's
Is it all?
Pat Barker, but Brian Moses is the creator of Roast Battle.
Oh.
Jeff Ross is the producer of Roast Battle.
Right.
Pat Barker is the commissioner. Yeah, so we 2 roast battles back to back. We've come first place.
Goodness.
Whoa.
That's huge.
How do they rank it? Just by pure entertainment and talent?
We send it to them. The rules are you have to send a battle from the last 30 days, and they review it, and they decide on that week's who was best.
Gosh, so who are we up against? Like, who's Australia up against? Like Sweden's roast battle?
London, Tokyo, Edinburgh, a few other countries.
Really?
Yeah.
And we're the best at roasting.
Fuck yeah.
Better than the British?
Better than the British.
Really?
Well, the British are leading, but they have more roast battles than us.
Yeah.
So they can get more points quicker.
Right.
Yeah, but we've only been in it twice, and both times we took the number 1 spot. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
When did you pick up the roast battle mantle?
When I saw it in 2015, I was in LA, and I was at the Comedy Store, and everyone was like, "Oh, we're gonna go see the roast battle." I'm like, "What the fuck's that?" Like, oh, you haven't seen the roast battle? It's great. It's awesome. And I'm like, okay.
You
I
knew
thought-
of the concept of like roasting and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
So I was like, I'm familiar with the Comedy Central roast. I ran a few of
yes.
those, you know. So I'm like, okay, I know what a roast is, but what's a roast battle?
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is amazing,
Yeah.
right? Because I've heard of comedy rap battles, and they're pretty fucking lame half the time.
Yeah.
You know, so this was like, this is comedy and it's a battle. This is great. And Brian Moses, the guy who created it, was hosting on that night.
Nice.
I told him, what would it take for me to get the license to do it in Australia?
Yeah.
And we came up with a deal, and I brought it over, and we've been running it since the first one we did was December 2015.
Whoa.
Yeah. And now we're getting to the stage where we're starting to get noticed.
Wow.
Yeah, because you did the finals at the store, a comedy store, yeah?
Yeah, it was a big deal. A lot of people were thinking, it's not going to sell because it was Easter weekend. A lot of people thought, the roast battle won't work at the store because it's a different crowd. Fuck that.
Yeah.
We brought the crowd. We outsold the first show that was on, right? So the regular comedy store show. And it was just wild and fucking fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, I feel like I'm using this a lot today, but there's a lot to celebrate with the Sydney scene.
Because I think it was the Allen and South one?
Alan
Yes.
and Seth, yeah.
Yes.
So that got first place in one of them.
that one.
That
So
one
that
and the
blew my
Fatty
mind.
and Dave one.
Right.
But the thing is, what I'm worried about is this week is going to be Kirsty and Jack. They're going to get reviewed. So hopefully we can take it out again for the number one.
Number one. Are they all aware of this? Do you
Yeah.
tell Alan and
Oh, yeah.
everyone like, first in the world?
Yeah.
And
they'll-
Alan, you're like, yeah, Alan, we won. And he's like, yeah,
he's like, I don't know.
naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Naturally, yeah.
Gosh, that's huge. So in LA, you're at the Comedy Store, because I have heard the story of you going on Kill Tony, which I think at the time was at the Comedy Store.
Yep.
Was that during that same trip? Was that a different one?
Same trip.
Right.
Yeah, that was like the best month of my life.
So you got a lot done in that month.
Fuck yeah, I don't fuck around. Like if I
Really?
say I want to do something or got an idea, I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah. So where did the whole like trip stem from as well? Was it like, I'm going to go over here and
Well,
try to level up in
originally
comedy?
it was more the fact that I just wanted to go visit America. Never had been before. Always wanted to. Big movie buff.
Nice.
And that year I was doing Edinburgh Fringe, and I thought, why not? I just fly over to America after.
Also, you were doing Fringe at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did that. And it was the year before, or the year before that, I had cancer.
What?
Yeah.
Goodness.
2013, I got bowel cancer. 2014, I had the surgery. 2015, I went to Edinburgh. So I was like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to do all the stuff I want to do.
So this
Yeah.
this is brand new to me. I didn't
Yeah,
even know
I
this.
had no idea about
Yeah,
that.
so
Bowel
I-
cancer diagnosis. What is the situation with that?
So for me, it's kind of funny because it feels like constipation, right? But nothing's passing, right? Which is ironic because a few months before that, I had constipation.
Diarrhea.
No, I had constipation, right?
Yeah.
So the doctor's like, "Oh, you have it again." I'm like, "How the fuck can I get it again so quickly?" But then like months went past, and I started feeling like it's like getting stabbed on the inside.
Yeah.
And then after the knife gets pulled out, someone just punches you really hard in that spot. Like that happened 3 times an hour every day.
What?
And until we did tests, and they figured out it was bowel cancer.
Goodness
Went and got the
gracious.
surgery, came out of it, did a show about it.
Is it a hereditary thing? Like, does anyone? in
Yeah,
your
from my
family
one, it
have
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Because my dad had it, and they got rid of it. But because the gene he has passed on to me, and also passed on to my middle brother. Don't know about the youngest yet. He might have done scot free.
Goodness.
So at that point, from the diagnosis to the surgery, is it like you're losing your mind in that time?
Oh
Or
yeah. I was like thinking, fuck.
You were like certain you're going to have bowel cancer at that time.
Oh no! I was certain I was going to die and not going to make it. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Because I was like, this is fucked, right? As my life just starts getting all right.
Yeah.
Well, not even all right. I got fired from my last job, but
Yeah.
it
It's
was
literally like the low point in a movie or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Just, I was thinking, that's
You were
it.
an English teacher, and they said you had bowel cancer because you weren't using the.
Nice.
There we go, folks. We got it in.
Do you have a boo version?
We actually do.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is.
It's all right. We don't need to use
Yeah.
that.
That was a very funny joke.
So yeah, bowel cancer. Recovered. It was about almost a year of recovery. Then did a show about it, and then I went to Edinburgh the year after that.
So you think you're going to die? What is the diagnosis for actual bowel cancer? Is it like, can it get that bad to the point
Oh yeah,
where...
so I got to stage 2,
Goodness.
almost stage 3.
So stage 3, it's basically...
3 and 4 is bad. 3 is like they maybe. 4 you're done for.
Really?
Yeah, they can't do anything with 4.
So what's going through your head at this time where you think you're going to die? What's actually your mindset? Do you do what everyone in all these movies like think about? Like, I'm just going to go to Las Vegas, go crazy. I'm going to
That's
travel
the thing.
the world.
At the time, I was like, I can't even get out of bed. You know?
So you're in pain.
I'm in pain. Like, literally, like I said, that pain you feel, it was like 3 times every hour. All day, and then you're sitting on the toilet for fucking hours trying to shit, and nothing come out.
And the phones weren't that good back then, so you're not like really going crazy on Instagram.
Nah, but we had fucking Angry Birds, bro.
Oh, so you probably had a perfect opportunity to become one of the best in the world.
I was
And I
bedridden,
was
but
range of number but like
Yeah, actually, that was another story. I went to the.
I was
Angry Birds
bedridden,
Championships.
but I had the Flappy Birds high score.
yeah, and this like before you knew me, like I used to be a very very angry person, like a super negative angry motherfucker.
Why? What was that?
I just like people dealing with people's shit, and like people. A lot of people talk behind my back and stuff.
Yeah.
Not so much these days. There are some that still do, but I don't give a fuck anymore. Like now, it's like, talk shit. I'm doing
Fuck you,
good.
haters.
Yeah.
Yeah, this to the haters. This is, we'll use our negative sound effect. This is what we think of the haters.
Yeah.
Right now.
Hot. So,
There we go.
yeah, but now I don't care as much because I'm like, I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing well with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like, back to the roast battle.
Yes.
Like people said, oh, what do you think you're doing? Bring that here. You can't. People won't do that. Da da da. And now it's like one of the hottest shows in Sydney.
100%. It's so fucking fun. Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. I love going on YouTube and seeing that. I would agree with the commission as well. I'll be like, oh, this is like this Alan one I recently watched with South. I was like, oh, it's probably the funniest roast I've seen in I can't remember how long.
Yeah.
I literally can't remember how long. It's just A1, top tier.
Oh, everyone that night bought it.
Yeah.
Except for one. But anyway,
okay.
but I'm not bringing that up.
Yeah. So anyway, back to this. So you're going to LA after you had that diagnosis, and you're just like,
No, so after the surgery.
Oh, after that. So you got the surgery done.
Surgery,
Yes.
recovered, did the show, then went to Edinburgh.
Gosh. How was the surgery? How was the whole process? Like, you were good after that? Or?
Yeah, but I still do testing for the next 5 years. Yeah. What they did was take out 80% of my large intestine.
Goodness.
And sew the 2 bits together. So now I only got a 20% of a large bowel. But it's better that I had it then, because if I did it maybe even 4 months earlier, colostomy bag. Yeah.
There's no way around that.
No way around it. Because I was one of the first to get this new surgery. And I was like, I don't want a fucking colostomy bag. But now that I think about it, fuck, it would have been great. If I had hecklers, fucking...
That is pretty good. It's actually a pretty good move.
Yeah.
Because I've heard about the colostomy bag. I kind of more recently. Like,
You just squeeze it out of me.
It's like
I'm sick.
near your stomach.
Yeah.
It's near your stomach. I always assumed it was near your batty.
No. It's like right there. Yeah. So it's like having like a permanent bum bag.
Literally.
You have like a Nike colostomy bag. That'd be a pretty good look.
Sick. Adidas, bro. No, that's actually the scars.
Excuse me, sir. You can't actually bring a bum bag in here. And it's like,
And I'm like, you want to check inside?
yeah.
Yeah, what's with the bum bag? Are you a lad? And it's like, no, I've actually had a surgery. And it's like, well, what's up with the TNs and the knife then?
If I'm wearing TNs, kill me.
Gosh. You're not a fan of TNs?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even going back around to kind of wear it semi-ironically?
No.
Really? Too serious? It was too much of a real thing?
Well, this is like, I'm mostly a metalhead, right?
Oh, you're a metalhead?
Yeah, metalhead / punk. But like, this is the first time I'd wear like, well, not this first time, but like in the last few years, ever since the surgery, really, started wearing more like, hoodies and stuff, which I never would wear before.
Yeah,
I was
because you
very
didn't want to
metal.
be associated with any other group other than
Kind of,
metalheads.
yeah. So that was the first group that accepted me, because in high school I used to get bashed by all the cunts that used to listen to fucking Tupac and all that shit.
What?
So I was like, fuck that, I'm listening to Metallica, right? Gosh. And so that went over to my life after high school, and those are the people that I started hanging out with. But after all that, then I started calming down a bit.
Goodness. I feel like we've got so many doors open here. I think there's a lot to touch on.
Yeah.
But I do want to know about the LA thing.
Yeah.
So you go over there to do comedy, to kind of see what you can do. See, like...
I just wanted to see if I could do it there,
Right.
And New York was first. New York was
you went
hard.
New York.
Yeah.
So you wanted to potentially go there to
Just
like,
to test
live.
the waters. Yeah.
Yeah.
And New York was tough.
Yeah.
Every New York comedian is in it for themselves. I don't really give a fuck about anyone else.
Yeah.
So they were like, they'll come in, do their spot, fuck off. Right? If they're in the audience while you're on, they're not listening. They were thinking about their set. They're like, they got 5-6 other gigs to go to that night.
Of course.
So they don't give a shit. And I did this one at Creek and Cave, which
Shout
was...
Shout out.
Well, they're gone now.
Yeah.
But...
They're in Austin.
They are in Austin.
yeah. Did they move to Austin?
Yeah, right, Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, Rebecca Trent. Shout out.
Oh, I did not know that. Can you smoke any?
yeah.
Oh,
Go
sweet.
for it, bro.
So you went to the Creek and Cave.
Yeah, so I went to Creek Cave, and I hated that room. I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
Well, the open mic. So they've got the main room upstairs and the open mic downstairs. I go down there, and I'm doing.
You went to the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting, and finally I'm the 20-something comedian that comes on.
Yeah.
Do my spot, nothing.
Oh, just
Nothing.
absolutely
Right?
silent.
I'm thinking, my comedy's not that bad. Like, I just did Edinburgh for a whole fucking month.
Yeah.
Right?
How was everyone else before you at the
Some
open
were
mic as well?
okay, but also the vibe was weird.
Yeah. Fair
There was
enough.
this one guy talking about how big his dick was. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like that, and then he gets
That
on
wasn't
stage.
even on stage. I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, no, that was outside, and then gets on stage, talks about it, gets no laughs, and he goes, "I fucking killed him." I'm like, what are you fucking talking about, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, look at this.
Yeah. And I look at him like,
I'm going well in
that's
life.
American big, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I leave, I go to another gig the next day, and the guy that was MC was like, "Oh, hey, you're that Aussie guy." I'm like, "Yeah."
And Aussie from the Creek and the Cave.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you
the
remember?
MC of the Creek and Cave, he was like, "You're the Aussie guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Oh, you should come back and do another spot." I'm like, "Dude, that place, I fucking bombed." He goes,
Yeah.
And then he told me, "No one in New York cares, right? If you're playing for comedians, they're not paying attention." Da da da.
Also, was a comedian audience.
Pretty much, I didn't know that, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Come back. I'll put you on tonight, and if you do well, I'll put you on the main show." So I'm like, "Okay." Went, did the open mic, did pretty well. And he goes, "All right, let's go to the main show upstairs." Did it, right? Same night.
Went to the Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good, right? It was so fun. I'm like, I love this room, right?
Yeah.
And then I came back for another open mic maybe a week later, and this was the most surreal thing ever. Because everyone writes their name on a piece of paper, you throw it in a bucket, and the MC pulls out 28 names, 30 names, something like that.
Yeah.
But then if you don't get called, you just don't get called, right? My name gets pulled out. This guy wearing a Juggalo t-shirt, right?
Nice.
He's like, Seizure wait, is this Seizure Kaiser from Australia? Right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, "Bro, I've been following on Twitter for years." I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
You were
Because-
big on Twitter.
Yeah,
back then.
kind of. But this is when Twitter started, and anyway.
Gosh.
And I got fucking barely a presence on Twitter. I post something now, I don't even get a fucking like,
Yeah.
But
Because you're talking about how big your penis is. And
No, that was the other dude. That was the other
then,
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't work anymore.
like we had a joint outside and all that kind of stuff. It
Who
fucking sick.
was that comic? If you
I
want
can't
to
remember.
Oh, right.
I remember it started with J, right? Because I'm like, like
It was
Jekyll Brothers.
Big J Okerson.
No, it
everyone.
wasn't. I met Jay Okerson
Really?
on my New York trip. Yeah, we went to the stand, and man, that guy crushed. Like, so good. Like, it was the funniest shit. He was just like doing
Wow.
crowd work, and he kept pointing at this couple, and he goes, "Let me guess how you get it on. You play like Pony," then he starts dancing and shit. It was the funniest. I was crying with laughter.
Yeah.
So that was New York. And my final day of New York, I got offered Caroline's, but I couldn't do it because I was flying to LA.
Are you kidding? So
Yeah.
you're just like killing it, basically. You're
Not
doing
killing it.
it.
I'm doing well.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not,
going great.
I'm not going to brag and say I was killing it. I was like doing enough to make a bit of a splash.
You're probably
Yeah.
doing a
Yeah.
lot better than any other comedian that's going to New York to pursue comedy. The idea you're getting like
Yeah.
booked and you're getting attention, like it's
Yeah,
going
but
pretty well.
But, which is ironic because like comedy I do like now, I could do it so well now compared to back then.
Right.
You know, back then it was like almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go to LA, and I don't know anyone in New York, didn't know anyone in LA, and I had to start all over again.
Yes.
Find out where the open mics are. You know, and luckily I went to this baseball game for the Astros, and the two guys talking shit behind me. We just started chatting, and he goes, "Oh, what brings you to America?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just having a visit. I'm actually looking for some comedy clubs. I'm performing." He goes, "Oh, we're comedians." All right, so they gave me a
Don't
list.
tell me you're Seizure Kaiser from...
No. So they gave me a list of where to go, and I did all those open mics. But in LA, it was much different because all the open mics are run by people who run the Laugh Factory or the Improv or the Comedy Store.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so if they see you at an open mic and they like you, when you go to the store and you put your name down, they'll go, "Oh yeah, we'll vouch for this guy."
Yeah.
So the night
There's
I
more
did-
chance of actually getting further in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that I did that Kill Tony show that time, the same night is also Potluck. Now, Potluck is about 16 comedians get on. 8 are whoever the store recommends, and 8 are pros.
Wow.
right? And like 250 people sign up. 250, right? And only 8 get picked.
Yeah.
I got picked that night, and then I did Kill Tony.
So you'd have the best luck in the entire world. Yeah.
I just did really well, but I did eat shit in the potluck shows.
Oh, really?
Well, I did okay, but I didn't like the MC didn't like me, and the MC was the guy that hosts Comedy Bang Bang.
Oh.
Scott Ackerman. I think
Yeah, Scott Ackerman, right.
Yeah, he did not like me.
What was the beef
I had a
from?
joke where I say the N word like 9 times. Yeah.
I came out in blackface, but yeah, it's a bit.
It's
a
in
character.
context, right?
Yeah.
All the black comedians loved it. All the black audience loved it.
Yes.
He didn't. And on that
why
night,
can't I say it?
and you know who was on right after me?
Yeah.
Joey Diaz.
No way.
Yeah.
Holy
So-
Goodness
smokes.
So yeah, I was the last of the 8.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz gets on, and then Mark Maron was on later. So it was like a big fucking lineup.
So you're right in the thick of it.
Yeah. And then I go
Yeah.
upstairs to tell my friends because they're like, how'd it go? Because like I said, 250 people have signed up for it. People have been there for like 7-8 years that have never gone on that show.
So this was just luck getting in that, or
Because I did all those open mics and I did consistently okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they knew the name.
Yeah. So
Goodness
I
gracious.
go upstairs to tell my friends, right? So all the friends I made in the scene in that month. And they're like, oh, yeah, because they told me to sign up Kill Tony. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I signed up to Potluck and Kill Tony. Go upstairs to Kill Tony, and my friend Lindsay Jennings, she was on.
Right.
And she was doing her set. And they're like, how'd it go? I'm like, yeah, we're all right. They're like, oh, man, that's fucking a big deal, blah, blah, blah. Then Tony Hinchcliffe pulls out the name, and he goes, okay, might be a fake name, but let's see, Seizure Kaiser. And if you listen to the clip again, you can hear my friends in the background go, oh! No one's got it twice. Not Potluck and then Kill Tony.
So
And
what
then-
is this? How many people were signing up to Kill Tony at the time as well?
I'd say about 100 at that time.
So the luck
Dude,
is
it's
just...
fucking insane.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, 2 in 1 as well. It's like osmosis. Like it was meant to be,
Yeah.
kind of.
And then because I got to Kill Tony, I got to do the Ice Lounge. And then I did a few more gigs, then back home. And that's between then was when I saw Roast Battle.
Right.
Yeah.
And what? So you left that trip. What was going through your head? Were you like, okay, I got to kind of maybe move? Or
I wanted to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had most of my shit ready to go in 2020. And remember what happened?
Oh.
Yeah. So
I got diagnosed with bowel cancer again.
that's easier to deal with than fucking COVID. COVID fucking ruined my life.
God, so you were literally ready to...
I was ready to go, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple people I was training up, and I was going to give them my comedy rooms.
Yeah.
Right? And my friend who got me... He used to work at Flight Center at the time.
Yeah.
He got me the trip to Edinburgh and New York for really cheap. So I hit him up, and he goes, hold on. Don't buy anything yet. Something's going on. We don't know yet what yet. I'm like, okay. Then COVID happened.
Well,
Well, you had a few years, though. With that initial trip was in 2015, was it?
It was just 2015, yeah, and I was going to leave in 2020.
Okay, so you had a few years. What was the reason for staying those few years as well, rather
Well, I
than
thought I
jumping
could
straight
bring
on it?
that flavor to Australia. And then
yeah, of course.
the scene sucked back then. Like,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fucking infighting. Like, people I'm friends with now, we weren't friends back then. Let's just put it that way. There was a lot of, like, cliques and all that. And no one had faith in what I did as a producer. And people just kept talking shit. But then I kept producing results. So, like, now they're like, oh, no. If Seizure's behind it, he'll do it.
Yeah,
And he'll do
yeah.
it justice.
so I guess your whole thing was just like, yeah, because like you said, it got to a point where it was kind of like, I'm going to let my results
Yeah.
speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Were you always like a self-starter in producing shows from the jump?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, when it came to, I was telling, what's his name again?
Kareem.
Kareem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say Turim. I'm like, no, it's not.
Close.
It's confused.
Yeah,
I told, yeah, he's got 2 nicknames.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I know there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Especially with that outfit. Anyway.
Oh,
So,
Hey.
nice. Okay, take it. Good on.
I don't know your name or the brand of any of those guys.
so yeah, like, what was I saying?
Oh, you producing your own
Oh, yeah.
show.
Producing, yeah, that's right. So when I started comedy in Australia, well, in Sydney, one of my really close friends, Mikey Milios, he started comedy, and I was making a documentary on him, right? So I used to be a like very independent filmmaker, all that kind of stuff, and I was making a documentary on comedy, and I was following him with a camera at every gig, and then like I'll test jokes on him. So the motherfucker signs me up to an open mic night without telling me.
Yes.
Right? And he goes, oh, by the way, you're on tonight. I'm like, what the fuck?
Where was this? What venue?
It was the East Village Hotel in Palmer Street. That was the first Comedy on Edge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so back then it was called Comedy on the Edge.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did it. I got one laugh and then bombed the rest of the set.
What was the joke you got a laugh on?
So I used to wear very, like I said before, very like metal clothing, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I know what you're thinking. This guy, he looks like he's very antisocial, listens to a lot of death metal, probably into Marilyn Manson. Yeah, you're right. I am a black belt ninja, right? Gets a nice little chuckle.
Yeah.
And then fucking 4.5 minutes of silence. And I couldn't talk in public before. I was a very nervous person.
Yeah.
You
so
were behind the camera, and all of a sudden you're in front of a microphone.
Exactly. So I was shaking. I was nervous.
Yeah.
How were you at like 4 minutes in? You've been bombing for that long. What are the thoughts? You're just like grinding, because that's a big thing to grind through as well.
Because I just recited one of the blogs that I wrote, which because I used to write funny blogs.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, this would do well. Nah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But that one laugh made me go, if I try at this, maybe I can do it.
Also, that one laugh
That
literally
one laugh got me
kept
going.
it.
Yeah. And
That's
plus,
kinda
I
like
had
a
nothing
beautiful
else to
story.
do because I scrapped the documentary.
Why?
The Seinfeld documentary came out, which is very similar. I was going to follow one big comedian, one new big comedian,
Yeah.
and see how their lives might intertwine or not. And then that came out, and it was really good. And I was like, yeah, fuck it.
How annoying.
Yeah, but you know what? It's for the better.
You think so?
Well, now look at me now. I'm on the Sausage Boys podcast.
Yeah,
Kill me.
literally.
Fucking kill me. Fucking kill me. Yeah.
That's what he's saying to his old self, because he's now doing the best podcast in the world.
The best podcast in St. Peters.
The best podcast in the world.
It might not even be. That's the scary part.
Well, that's actually a pretty good thing to say, because Joe Rogan's actually next door. So, yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, so you have this time, you're in Sydney, and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to run straight back to LA or New York. I'm just going to.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
that's
how I got into. So I started working with the Comedy on the Edge guys, right? And we did a movie with them, right? A Comedy on the Edge, the movie, which the trailer's online, but the movie never got released, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
The audio quality was a bit bad, and then so I never released it, but the trailer's still there.
Yeah.
And so I started working with Mark Williamson, and I started producing shows with him. I started bringing more flavor. I was like, dude, you need entrance music when people come in. So I started doing the sound, started working with the lights, started making more of a show. And then that moved to another location, then William Street, Bar William Hotel. Then it moved to what is now known as the Chippo.
Nice.
And it was there for a while, but it went to like 3 different owners. And Mark decided to give it up. So I said, I'll take the brand. And he didn't give it to me, the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So he gave it to this other guy called Shane something. I can't remember his last name now. Decent guy. I think he works at ABC now. And Shane pretty much ran into the ground. And I was like, well, I just got back from America and I've seen all these shows that I want to do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would I pay someone else to run the show when I can just have my own fucking room? Because I did run a room before that, 2 of them. One called IHOC, International House of Comedy.
Nice.
Little stupid fun show. And then the other one was the Townie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Before I took it over again.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So you had some experience.
I had some experience, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was producing shows before then for the comedy festival. So at the Raglan Hotel, IHOC, we did a show called 60 and 60, and our 1-year anniversary. 60 comedians all do 1 minute each.
Wow.
And we did it on a Wednesday, and we were fucking packed. That place was buzzing. And the people that ran the comedy store, they're like, because I used to run Tuesdays to Sunday, and their Wednesday was dead. And they're like, what the fuck? Why is there no one here? And one of the comedians that was on said, oh yeah, I just got back from this other gig. It's blah, 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 blah. It's busy as fuck. So I got involved with them. Then I started working at the comedy festival and working for the comedy store. Then I started producing shows. Another show that I produced was Your Mama Battle, which you've been part of.
Yeah.
So that was pretty early on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
wow.
this was before there was a Yo Mama TV show, which MTV did. Right.
Right.
So our version was completely different to theirs, but everyone thought I ripped it off. But I'm like, no, we came out 2 years before they did.
Yeah.
And
You're a bit of an innovator over here.
yeah, so I like.
Seinfeld, MTV, you got a lot of people stealing from you.
But that's why I think
Yeah.
we live in a fucking simulation because it can't keep happening to me where everyone's taking all the ideas.
Yeah, because in the 90s, or the late 80s, you had a show about nothing.
You know what's funny? Like when I was a kid, I used to draw like Sonic the Hedgehog characters.
Yeah.
And I came up with my own one.
Yeah.
And then like 10 years later it came out and like they actually put it in like a video game or something. And like I would have been like maybe like, you know, young, and I was looking at that like, how'd they get my idea? Do you know what I mean? Like I understand even on that level.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The album that I released in 2018 was called Trigger Word Happy, right? Joe Rogan's special the year after, Triggered, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, yeah. But there's this the one thing that's making me think we live in a simulation.
Yeah.
So the poster for my show about cancer was called Gutless, right? Yeah. And it was a picture of me with my guts coming out, and the words Gutless came out with like pink intestines.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
And I worked on it. I designed it myself, made it myself. And about a year later, there was a porn movie that came out, right? And,
and you were in it.
No. Which, that's another story, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah.
It was called... the guy looks like Ryan Gosling, but he had like a weird name that sounded like Ryan Gosling, right? Something Gutless. And it was the same fucking font that I designed. And I'm like, what the fuck? Does this guy follow me? And I looked through my Twitter, couldn't find him following me in that. So I'm like, this is really weird.
Did your poster get shared a bunch?
I shared it
to
to
the point?
him, and then I got blocked.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like, that is bizarre. That is so fucking bizarre.
Did you watch the porn? Was
Oh,
it
of
pretty
course
good?
I did.
It was good.
It was all right.
Good stuff.
It was all right. Well, it wasn't the best. I've seen better.
Who's the Ryan Gosling guy? We're gonna look into him later.
What's his fucking name? I can't remember. He looks like Ryan Gosling. His name is Ryan something.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all comedians. What's a porn star? Ryan Gosling. Ryan
Cockling? I don't know.
Ryan Cockring.
Yeah, Ryan Cockring.
That's close enough.
There we go.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
We hit it, folks. We hit it. I was worried for a second. But yeah, dang. Right.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot at that point.
And then I started working with the Sydney Fringe, and I started doing. I ran a venue called the Hilarium, and we put on, I want to say, 3 shows a night for every day for 4 weeks. What's that? 21 times 4. 80 something shows.
Wow. Yeah.
And a lot of people saying, no, you can't do it.
Also, you're in a room full of horses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Naysayers.
Yeah. And did pretty well. Then the year after, did another venue, did pretty well. The year after that, pretty well. And that's when COVID happened. Yeah, but now started running stuff, which you guys were part of my Fringe last year.
Yes, we were.
And
everyone, Sausage Boys Live.
Yeah. And you guys did pretty well. And, you saw how many people were getting through that door. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I would say I'm an experienced producer.
Yeah. Do you have any intentions of doing a round 2, going back to New York?
Yeah. I'm actually thinking of going this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Just moving?
No, moving. I'll probably just go, do spots, come back, do it again next year, keep going until I get a bit of a reputation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a good approach.
It'd be hilarious, like, you just go and it's like, oh, yeah, no, Seizure's in New York. Yeah. And then we literally open up Joe Rogan. It's you and Kevin Hart and Joe Rogan. Yeah.
They're like, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
The truth is, do you go to Austin, Texas now?
Well, here's
That's
the thing.
The real question.
So the roast battles that you guys have been watching on my channel.
Yeah.
So Pat Barker was like, hey, when you come to LA, we'll get you spots at the store. And if you want to come to Austin, Texas, we'll take you to the mothership. I'm like, what, to watch? Like, no, we'll put you on. I'm like, what?
Do a spot at the mothership.
Yeah. So that's why part of me is like wanting to go this year.
Absolutely. And it's crazy, even like the way everything's blown up at the moment. With everyone's podcasts in the States, in Austin, New York, LA. Yeah, it's crazy. Getting in with that crowd is fucking insane.
Here's the weird thing. So I told you guys how I had a podcast a couple of years ago. Yeah, called Film Feud. So when I took that to America, actually, no, Edinburgh was the weirdest situation. So in Edinburgh, there's a lot of shows that get cancelled, and there's empty rooms. So like, does any comic want to do something in there? And I was like, I'll do something in there. I'll do my Film Feuds live podcast.
Yeah.
So I'll put a post up, right, on my fucking fan page, which had like maybe 1,000 on or something at the time. And we sold like 200 tickets.
What?
I was like, what the fuck? And
Jesus.
apparently people knew about my podcast there. So when I went to America, I did it again, and we had like only 50 show up, but still, I was like, how do these people know about my podcast?
Yeah.
Then I looked at the analytics. I get more listeners outside of Australia than Australia itself. It's crazy.
Goodness. And how was the actual show at Edinburgh when you
it's
did the live
fucking
podcast?
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did you have on? Did you have like
I remember James Nikisi was on it, New Zealand comic, and he won it, that episode, because it's like a game show kind of.
okay, yeah.
And he won that episode, but I can't remember who else was on. I think it was just 2 random Edinburgh comics that were just there.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, it was fun.
Big room.
Big room.
Good. How was the whole Edinburgh experience as well? So what do you actually do at Edinburgh?
So I did it part of the free fringe.
Yeah.
So there's the regular fringe, which you register for, and then you can pick your venue, which you have to pay venue hire and all that kind of shit. But if you do it as a free fringe, you pay only £80 at the time. I don't know if it's changed.
Yeah.
And they give you a venue, and then whatever you earn, right? So
Right.
at the end of the show, you say, "I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you'd like to donate on the way out, it took me a lot of money to get here. I'd love if you could donate back so I can get the fuck out of here, or whatever. You make it funny.
Yeah, of course.
And people just donate at the end.
Yeah.
And the first night I did it was 2 people.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Which is
And I was like, "Oh, this is fucked." In an 80-seater.
and they both gave 30 grand.
Yeah, I know.
They were both like.
Well, here's why I
philanthropists.
don't discount small audiences. Discount small audiences when it comes to a solo show.
Yeah.
Because those 2 people ended up were reviewers.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
And they convinced me to just do the show. You're like, your first night, you might as well do it, and just try to get the cobwebs off. And like, I was like, all right, fine. So I did a low key version of it. They gave me such a good write up that I was packed out every day.
Packed out.
Yeah.
You've just had great.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong.
Jesus.
Packed out doesn't mean good. Packed out
Right.
just means there were people there.
How many people are we talking about?
Oh, it was like 80-seater, so it was like 80-something people every night. However, the first week, I made nothing. They hated me.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you performed for 80 people who were
Yeah.
just. Are you
Not-
getting
not
laughs?
giving.
Not getting laughs. But then I thought,
Yeah.
okay, if I did the low-key version of it, instead of... Because it was called Supervillain, and there was like all these props and all that shit.
Nice.
Took all the props out and just do it normally, like just straight stand-up, basically.
Yeah.
Then people were like, this is good. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And then I did the Yo Mama battle there, and we did that in a 350-seater. We were sold out every fucking night because no one saw anything like that before.
Same thing with that. Are you having to collect all these comedians for the Yo Mama battle when you're over there?
Yeah.
Being like, we're doing Yo Mama, ba 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 ba.
And I have
let's
to
get
explain
it.
the concept and da, da, da.
Yeah.
And yeah, people were on board.
Because again, I've watched some of the Yo Mama. Jackson's actually done the Yo Mama battle.
Yep.
It's such a unique idea. I couldn't, even when I heard about it, I was like, what could that possibly even be?
Yeah.
So you made this up.
So
You
I
made up.
completely made this
Yeah.
up. The way I originally came up with it, back in the IHOC days.
Yes.
Right, so this was about 2009. Yeah, 2009 when we did the first one. Just got a whole bunch of comedians like, all night we're just going to do your mama jokes, right? It's like a little rap battle kind of thing, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
And the comedians go on stage, just do your mama jokes back and forth. And the audience were getting quite bored,
Yeah.
right? Until someone screamed out, do one about pads, right? Like,
What
like
kind of
menstruation pads.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice.
And we looked at her, and then one of the comedians was like, without missing a beat, was like, your mama's so right wing, she doesn't have a left wing on her pads. And the crowd just was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, give me another topic, right? And then someone shouted out and
It's
just
like the
kept it back
creation
on.
of like hip hop or something.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I like
wait
what
a
you're doing there,
second.
man.
Yeah.
Just banging on the table.
So I was like, okay, this works. So the first version was okay, right? The second year we did it, this one I was running the townie. IHOC was done by then. We did the second ever Your Mom battle. And I put a poster up. I put posters up all around Newtown.
Yeah.
That place was packed, like wall to wall. You couldn't move in that place. And then it was just the same topics. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. And it was just insane. Then I did the 60 and 60 that year. That's when the Comedy Store heard about it. They got me involved. Then I told them about Your Mom battle. And they're like, this sounds stupid.
Wait, quickly. 60
Yeah.
and 60, is that your idea as well?
60 and 60 is I saw they played it on, I think it was SBS or ABC, the Edinburgh version, and it was fucking garbage.
Oh, right.
Right? It's because once that minute was up, they just cut the mic. Right? It was like 4 stages, and the crowd was sitting in the middle, and they kept turning every time. So I'd be like, oh, performance here, then light over here,
Oh,
then light
okay.
over here. But
Yeah,
they kept
yeah.
cutting off before the punchline. So I thought it would be better if it was one stage, 2 people,
Yeah.
right? And a light will go back and forth, but I had to get everyone's script so I know when they finish.
Yes.
Right? I'll give them like maybe 10, 15 seconds more,
Yeah.
but if they've still got a while to go, move that light to the next person.
Wow.
Yeah, because otherwise you look at the end and it's like, oh, dang, we've been going for 4 days.
Yeah. And so the guys from Century Entertainment who own the comedy store and the comedy festival and all that, they helped me come up with that format. Because I had a much different format originally. But they're like, oh, so you want the scripts? I'm like, yes, I need the scripts so I know when to cut them off, blah, blah, blah. And the version we did at iHawk was just basically 1 minute, then you hear like a bell, basically.
Yeah.
And in a small venue can work, but not in a big theater.
Yeah.
And that show ended up becoming the festival closing party.
Gosh.
But then I was like I said, I used to be a very angry person and a very negative person. I got in a fight with the festival director and they've never had it back.
I don't even know what to give that one. Do we give it a cheer or do we give it a...
Do you have like a sound?
I know, I think you basically said it there.
But yeah, look.
Sound effect.
But yeah, like I said, I was, because of my negativity, my anger issues and all that kind of stuff, and don't get me wrong, I still have them. I'm controlling them better.
Where's it come from? Where's this negativity?
Oh,
what's going on?
People
we're
always
about
tell
to
me
become we're about to become psychologists now. Like, where does this anger stem from?
from basically you two. But
That's good. That's good.
We're just avatars for a particular kind of character that keeps popping up.
no, but that's the thing. Like, comedy helped me deal with my anger issues.
So you've had anger issues since you were born?
No, I think I was like I used to get beat up a lot in school.
Beat up?
Oh yeah. And I was never, I never want anyone to have a bad time or anything like that.
Which school did you go to?
Chilora Public School, then Strathfield South.
Okay. So
Strathfield South is known for 2 reasons. One, a kid brought a gun to school, right? And it was on the news. The second time, do you guys know the Scaff brothers?
No.
Oh,
They invented scaffolding. So
They sound like an improv duo.
the Scaff brothers were a year above me, and they committed all those gang rapes in
At Strathfield.
Greenacre. And
What? I haven't heard about them.
oh yeah, the guys went away for a long, long time.
Really? How many did they commit?
Like dozens.
Enough to have their own name.
Yeah.
Enough to be known as the Scaff brothers.
So yeah, they were a year above me, and
Wow.
our school was like fucking strict after that. They're like,
Is this
No
a
more
boys-
rapes.
Hey guys, we got to start asking for consent.
yeah. So they got one of the main brother Bilal Scaff got 50 years in prison. Right?
Whoa.
Yeah, because the fucking moron got 20. Then he told the judge to go fuck himself. And the judge was like, all right, here's another 10. He goes, well, fuck you, you piece of shit. Then it
No
went another
way.
10. Yeah, it did. Look it up.
That
It's
actually happened.
Yeah.
Then that can happen.
Yeah.
Not another word or you're getting 5 more years.
Yeah.
He goes,
Because it's called contempt of court. So yeah, they can do that.
That's
And one of their
insane.
brothers actually got out last year. Yeah, and was harassed for ages. I'm like, fuck, man. The guy was like only a year older than me. Like,
Yeah.
imagine being in prison all that time.
Wait, so when did they go to prison? How old were they?
2009, I think it was. 2010.
And they were like-
no, 2009. Sorry, 99, 2000. It was around then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how old were they when they went to prison?
So I would have been 14. I think they were 15.
They were 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
Getting 50 years.
Yeah.
now if you want to play like a big boy, you get punished like
Wouldn't
a
they?
big boy.
I literally don't know too much about the legal system,
Yeah.
but they're under 18. Wouldn't they go through like a juvie system or like have certain
Yeah,
rules?
I don't know the system. Like,
Yeah.
I evaded them a lot. So
So you knew them at the time as
No,
well?
no,
Or-
I knew of them. Right, they
Yeah.
were bullies. They were fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And I know. I think one of their crew tried bashing me once.
Yeah.
I remember that. But I'd never actually interacted with them.
So this is like a cultural thing, like of the school, I guess. Is
No,
it? Is
just-
it a boys' school? It's a
No, it
co-ed.
was co-ed.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Good. And so you were getting harassed. You were having a bad time there.
Yeah, no one liked me because my background is Palestinian, right?
Oh,
But
Palestinian. Okay.
Palestinian-
Free Palestine, everyone. Yeah.
Palestinian, however, I have an Israeli passport.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. Because my family's born on the Israeli side,
Yeah.
right? So it's a weird kind of situation. Like, I would consider myself Palestinian, but born on the Israeli side. So all the school I went to was 99% Lebanese.
Right.
And they're like, you fucking Jewish cunt, basically, right? And I'm like, I'm not Jewish,
Crazy, yeah.
right?
I'm not one of them.
And I'm Arab, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not Jews. And then, just like...
So it just didn't end. It's like,
it just didn't end.
no.
I was getting bullied every fucking day.
So it was literal anti-Semitism towards a non-Jewish
Yeah,
person.
it was bizarre. I'm like, bro, I'm on your side. And they're like, oh, your great uncle probably killed my great uncle. I'm like, fucking good, you're a dickhead.
Yeah.
I was a bit of a smart ass as well.
So you went into it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I don't back down from a fight.
Well, you can't not. I mean, you're being fucking challenged in such a real way.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
meant to do?
You also wore a Star of David necklace and a yarmulke.
No, just a tattoo.
That was
But,
a tattoo. There we go.
But it was ironic.
Yeah. This is before irony was a thing, man.
Yeah, you invented irony.
You want to hear something fucked up?
No, it was ever ironic.
You want to hear something fucked up? When the 9/11 attacks happened, the next day at school, all the lebs are like, fucking, yeah, it's a great day. Oh. I was like, what the fuck, you morons? And they're saying... no. And they're saying this
crazy.
while they're wearing their fucking Adidas fucking clothes. I'm like, bro, that's American.
Yeah.
And they didn't...
So these kids are literally like anti-America. These are...
But they loved American culture. They love basketball. They
You
love
said
fucking
Tupac
rap.
earlier,
Tupac, yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. I went to a school full of dumb cunts.
Yeah.
Stratford South represent. But like, fuck those guys. They're morons. And that's why I was such a nervous speaker in public, because I used to get bashed a lot.
I've got a friend like this, and he says like the same thing. We're trying to work out why he's so afraid of performing and whatever.
Yeah.
And basically we came down to like when I was a kid, anytime I opened my mouth, I was praised.
Yeah.
It's like my parents were like, oh, he's a good guy. He's doing good. And then anytime, this is exactly what he said. He said, anytime I opened my mouth, I either got yelled at or punched. Maybe not at home, you know, but like he was either always in trouble or something like that. So now, it's just like I can't talk.
Like, I remember how violent I was. Like, if someone made a joke at me, I'd punch them in the arm. Right? That used to be my thing.
So you were like what the kids call a spaz.
No, I was more retarded. Anyway, so because I didn't know how to express myself. Comedy helped me express myself.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I can actually use words, and I was a pretty smart kid.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to talk to people.
So they'd be anti-Semitic towards you, and you would just punch them in the arm.
Oh, not those guys. Those guys will just go and pop a fist fights.
So you wouldn't want to punch them.
Yeah, you guys probably won't be able to see on the camera, but you guys probably see on the back. Can you see like a little bit of a scar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's because I got hit with a pole and
Polish guy.
No, a pole. And this is why you guys are only getting one show with me. Yeah, like I remember outside, we're waiting for the bus after school, and these. A bunch of leb kids came up and just started like pushing me around, hitting me. One of them got a pole and just smacked me in the back of the head, which required like 5 stitches. And I was just bleeding. Like,
so they're
everywhere.
just having fun. They just literally get this and it's like,
because I'm a Jew, and I'm like, I'm not a Jew.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Jews.
Yeah.
Right? But like,
So well, stop asking us for money.
This is why.
to be fair. Yeah.
This is why anti-Semitism.
If I'm going to play the role, I might as well be the role.
Yeah, to be fair, my parents were evicting them from their apartment. So
yeah, but it was just fucked. Like the school I grew up in was not a like. I had my friends. It was the Asian kids basically.
okay,
So
so you're a weeb.
Pretty much. Like we'll play Big Two, fucking Magic the Gathering, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Chess.
Okay.
And then then it was like, oh, it's 2:00, bashing time. Yeah.
Just like stretching beforehand. Lebanese kids are just like waiting there, like they're.
Oh, pretty much, dude.
cracking
I
their
got bashed on a bus. I got hospitalized a few times.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on? How's your family? How are the teachers reacting to
I
this?
do just want to say,
Teachers were like, you shouldn't be causing trouble. I'm like, I'm not the one causing trouble.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Most of the teachers were scared of the students. Like,
Really?
it was pretty full on. Like, after the whole Scaff Brothers incident, they're all just like, don't even get involved. Nothing.
Goodness.
Yeah. I had like a couple good teachers, you know, they like, you know, helped me. Like so I wanted to do 3D animation after high school.
Yeah.
So they got me into a course that did that. They knew I had some kind of like artistic merit. So I got into that. And after that, I went to directing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. I'm trying to think back to this school, the demographic, the breakdown. What are we looking at? Are we looking at like a 90% Lebanese?
1,000
sort of-
Lebanese and 1 Jewish guy.
It was pretty much 90% Lebanese. Yeah, but when I entered the school, it was like maybe 65% Aussies.
Oh, so you got some Aussies in there. How
Yeah.
are they treating you?
They're all right.
Are they anti-Semitic as well? Are they getting you because you're Palestinian?
Like, they were getting scared of the Lebs.
Oh, real? So the Lebanese were taking over.
Yeah,
They were
so I was hanging out with, like I said, the Asian kids, but the guys a year above me, the other kids that were a year above me, were all into metal. So that's why I got into metal, because they were like, can't protect me.
So you'd get protected by the Aryans.
No,
You'd
not
kind of
really.
join the Aryan Brotherhood
they're just like, fuck off, you know. They'll just tell them to move along, and then
They're just a watching eye.
Yeah, because they wore metal shirts, everyone was scared of them because, the devil, oh my God, they listen to devil music.
True. Lebanese are scared of,
Yeah.
and these are Lebanese Muslims.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lebanese people are scared of Megadeth.
No, bro, seriously, we're going to die like Mega Man's a time.
Yeah, so I had a massive disdain for Lebs for quite a while.
Wow.
And I experienced racism in school, but then when I got to experience racism in the real world, that's when I was like, oh, this is a completely different game.
You like finally meet a Jewish person. It's like, hey, my brother is like, no.
No. It was
Hey, my name's Isaac, and you're like,
I remember it was at a club, actually, a metal club. And I was there, and I was hanging out with my friends. This was like when I was about 19, I think maybe 20, actually. And I was hanging out, and we're sitting outside having cigarettes. And these guys come up and like, oh man, fucking we just did the gig in there. We're like, oh yeah, guys, pretty cool. You can play some nice riffs. And they're like, what the fuck would you know? You're just a fucking dumb Arab cunt. And I'm like, the fuck, bro? Right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever said bro, and I meant it, right?
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Were you like confused as well? Was there like an element of confusion?
But it's funny because all the bouncers were Lebs, right? Ooh. So they saw what was happening. And I used to get along with all bouncers, right?
Yeah.
And they saw what was going on. And I was like, yeah, fucking say that again, you dumb cunt. He goes, oh, what would you know about metal? I'm like, okay, fucking, what's that shirt you're wearing, Pantera? Name 5 fucking songs. And he couldn't. And I was like, yeah, exactly, you stupid fuck, right?
Oh, so you got them intellectually. Yeah. You got them in like a musical level.
Then the guy threw a punch, and the bouncers came up and just beat the shit out of him. I'm like, bro, you all right? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm fucking good. I'm good. And then my voice started coming out. Like,
bro, I'm good.
No, I swear to God, mate.
I was just about to do that.
Yeah.
I was just about to beat them up, and then you came over.
You're not that Jewish guy, though, are you?
Yeah. But I was like, but it was weird. It was just like, I thought I was accepted by this community, and then this happened. And I was like, the fuck?
So you're a bit of an outsider.
I've always been an outsider.
No one really wants
like
you.
Even my brothers, like my 2 younger brothers, they're
beat me up for being Jewish.
No. No, they're into their thing. You know, I'm into my thing. Like my youngest brother, me and him have a couple of similarities, but we're all different.
Oh, well, so you're not that close.
Not close with the middle brother because he lives back there, and my youngest brother lives here, and we get along. We cool, but like we have our own interests. Basically, I've always been the outsider kid. Like my favorite band growing up was Insane Clown Posse, which means everyone hated me.
I was going to say, I think we hate you. It's a strange choice. How'd you even get into that? Like, what?
One of the guys showed me a song at school called The Nedden Game. It was the funniest shit I've ever heard, and I was like, "This is sick." It was like a dating game show, but as a rap song.
Right.
And it was the most filthiest lyrics you've ever heard. And when you're 14, you're like, this is sick.
So you were like a juggalo?
Oh, yeah. Still am.
Still am?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoop, whoop, motherfucker.
There we go, folks.
Yeah, people are listening to Tupac, and you're like, yeah, but where's the face paint?
Yeah. But that's the thing, because they weren't talking about they were just funny, right? And I like funny. And I've always loved comedy. So... I was drawn to the comedy aspect of Insane Clown Posse, and then it became the metal stuff, and I was like, oh no, I relate with these on a musical level, on an intellectual level. I listen to metal, but just for shits and giggles and fun. Yeah, Insane Clown Posse puts some of the best fucking music out there for fun.
Yeah.
If you want to have a good fucking time, go hang out with some juggalos. They'll treat you like family.
Have you gone to like the Gathering of the Juggalos?
I've always wanted to. We had a couple in Sydney back in the day. The first time ICP ever came out here.
Yes.
I'll show you guys the picture one day. Yeah. It was me. We were at the front of the line for the concert tickets, and there's a fucking army of juggalos behind us. And we went to do back before it was a selfie, like just with a normal digital camera, normal disposable camera. Yeah. I put it up, and someone in the back's like, "They're taking a photo. Everyone put up the fingers," and it was like. Yeah.
Perfect photo.
Yeah, and everyone got along there. I've never been to a concert where everyone got along.
Really?
Yeah.
There wasn't the one person that kind of
everyone's no, we're all in together. We're all here because we're all outsiders. We're all weird.
Maybe that's it. That's your people. That's where you belong.
Yeah.
With the Juggalos.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, metal, there's a lot of similarities between.
Yeah.
But nah, it's a completely different scene.
I assume it's the same sort of person, though. I find like a lot of ICP fans are like metalheads.
There's a lot of cross
like,
between, but not really. A lot of people look down on ICP.
Really?
It's not real music and all that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like,
God.
Well, they've created their own infrastructure. They've got fucking everything.
yeah, they
It's
got
like
their own labels, their own fucking merch, their own fucking festival, and like, there's a documentary that came out recently called, was it United States of Jugglers, something like that?
Yeah.
It's about how the FBI labeled their fans as a gang, and they did a Million Juggalo March on Washington, and did a whole speech about like, no, this is freedom of speech. It's a constitutional war that they're having because why are we labeled just because we look weird?
Yeah.
It was so good. It's a very, very good documentary.
Gosh, it's not on Netflix or anything. Is it on
I
Netflix,
think
or?
it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on there anymore.
Yeah.
I've got it on DVD.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yes, you've actually got a copy.
Yeah. It's so good. Yeah.
Do you think, like, looking at like the ICP model, like they started their own shit from the outside? Has that like impacted?
Oh, it definitely impacted me. I was like,
That's sick.
one quote I remember is like, if you can't be part of the scene, create your scene.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to create my own scene. And I've always wanted to change the comedy industry in Sydney, at least.
Which I feel you were actively doing, and
Slowly,
for me, as
yeah.
like a little bit of an outsider, I see you as like, oh no, Seizure's kind of like he's got it's all his.
In a way, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it's everyone wants to be part of me, but they don't want to play by my rules.
What are your rules? What are we talking about?
Well, for example,
Don't use the J word around
Yeah.
me.
I don't know. Use that.
First of all, no Lebanese.
Yeah, first of all,
And it's just, yeah.
that's why Fatty Kasab's on it all the time.
Yeah.
No, it's just more the fact that, like, be professional when you're at the gig. Don't use inside baseball knowledge. Never play to the back of the room, which is a term of like
Yeah.
playing just for the comics.
Nice.
There are people who have paid to come in here. Play for them.
Yeah.
Don't play for the comedians. And some people like to, like, I don't mind if you play with the rules, but when you deliberately break them, I'll have a word with you. I'm like, don't do that fucking again, or I'll give you spots.
Yes. Goodness. Okay, I like that. Have you had any like bad instances with...
Dude, it just happened last week.
Really?
Yeah. So I won't mention who, but
Yeah, no, of
I'm
course.
talking to.
But it's
But
happening.
It's not the fact that, like, I like when comedians are having fun,
Yeah.
right? But if it's alienating the audience, which we're in the business for, because remember, show business is 2 words: show,
Yes.
business.
And you really have to look at it like that.
Yeah.
Where there is an audience, let's say they're not laughing, you're making the comedians laugh. There kind of is no
And like
point.
sometimes the audience are cunts, so you got to go at the audience a couple of times. But try, at least try.
Have you had like what is your worst experience like with a crowd? Have you ever had like a almost fight breakout? Being
I
a
got
violent
choked on
character-
stage once.
Nice.
Yep, at
Yes.
IHOC. The probably 2 months in of me running it.
Yeah.
I did a joke, and it was a pedo joke, right?
Okay.
And this guy comes up on stage, fucking drunk out of his fucking yobbo dickhead,
Yeah.
and just chokes me. He's like, "Don't fucking do those kind of fucking jokes," blah blah blah.
Do you mind saying what the the gist of the joke?
I'll
but
give
it
you the
was just
gist. I don't remember the joke exactly. We're talking about 2009, 2008.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So people were probably a little bit they're less familiar with that sort of.
I always love
Angle.
dark humor, though.
Yeah.
Right? And the joke was about how, remember that movie Candyman, where you say his
Yes.
name in the mirror 5 times?
Yeah.
I told about how the first time I watched that movie, it was year 4, and I go up and I do the, and everyone's like, daring me to do Candyman. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do it, I'm scared. But they convinced me to do it, so I go up and do it. I say the name 5 times. Nothing happened. However, my younger brother did get molested that night. It's a dumb joke. It's not a good joke.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any kind of correlation. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was just like, go for that shock humor. And this guy
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
choked me because of it.
So he's just like up.
He just gets up, grabs me like this, puts me up against the wall. Right? And everyone's like, and all that.
And you like get an erection, and he's like, "Whoa, dude, that wasn't meant to happen."
Well, he did have a cum stain on. But
Okay,
like,
nice.
like, it's just crazy, right? And
How did you react? Did you like going to throw a punch or?
I got out of the choke, so
Yeah.
like he had it like this, and pushed him like that.
Yeah.
And then I went to go for a swing, but then the comics got in between and stopped it.
Dang.
Yeah, because if I had punched him, then I could have got arrested. You
Yeah,
know?
of
I'm not gonna
course.
say I was not gonna. The guy was bigger than me, but
Yeah.
I've always been a fighter. Like
Wouldn't have that been self-defense? He gets it, you chokes you. He's the aggressor at that
at
point.
the camera, the angle was on. No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So all you can see is the guy come up, and I get pushed on the wall.
Yeah.
And then I get out of it. Then I just go like this.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the camera's like right above.
Yep. So then you got held.
Yeah.
Comics intervenes.
Oh, I was gonna say if you can get choked for making pedophile jokes, we should be dead by now. Oh yeah, and the other. Yeah, I wish I knew wrestling. I wanted to chuck in a fancy wrestling move, but I don't know.
What's
A powerbomb.
Yeah, and then you powerbombed it.
Yeah.
There we go. I like that one.
Speaking of powerbomb, power slam.
Power slam. Yes.
So you got to
Slam.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a card game that I created.
You really? What's going on? What's with this creativity? Have you got like a high IQ or something like that? Have you got coming up with all these things?
Don't want to brag, but yes. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
I've also got a big penis.
No, I'm
Power-
not that guy from New York.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
No,
Power slam.
Yeah, me and my friends, Peter Gleason, Ray Cashman, we all used to play board games at Central Park in Broadway.
Yes.
Well, Broadway Central. And we used to just, because it was a mall that was open and no one was using it. And they had these massive tables. And we're like, we could play board games here because we've got room.
Yeah.
Right, and we got food all around. We got facilities. Yeah, fuck yeah. So we used to go there every Sunday play games. And one day I told Ray, like, I like the games, like this game, I like that game, but I wish there was like something in between. Or like, we should make something. And Ray was like, all right, fucking go make it then.
So you've got a hater at that point
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I create something, I come back, and it was just like literally words on a paper, right? So I got these, they're like playing cards, or cue cards. Yeah, I got cue cards, and I just wrote words on a piece of paper, and I showed it to him the week after, and he was like, this is not that bad. But how would this work? And then I was like, okay, actually, I don't know how. He goes, well, have you tried doing it this way? So we started working back and forth.
He's pointing out the flaws. So
The
that you
flaws
can
and the
find
mechanics.
Yeah.
So we started working on it. 2 weeks after that, we now have a working prototype, still words on paper, and we're testing it out. And Peter Gleason comes along, and he goes, what are you guys doing? We're like, it's a game I made. He goes, can I have a try? We're like, yeah, actually, because we hadn't had a third tester yet. So we're playing it with him. We played like 5 rounds of the game, and we're like, this is quite fun.
Yeah.
And Peter's like, you want me to do the artwork? And Peter's amazing artist, like an amazing artist.
So we're talking about wrestlers like WWE?
No,
what is this?
So they're fake wrestlers, right?
Is this made up?
It's all made up, right? But the game is more like, it's like Uno meets Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
But Magic the Gathering, you have to keep buying it and buying it and buying it. With our game, it was like, no, it's just one set you buy and you play with that. You don't need to buy multiple things for it.
Yeah.
So we got the Uno element, which makes it fun and interactive. Like we have reverses and all that kind of shit. And then
there's not much commitment to the game, kind of like Magic the Gathering. It's more like Uno, where you can like, let's grab it, bam, game done.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's what in the industry they call a small box game.
Okay.
Right?
What are we talking about? We're 3 comedians here. Small box game. What are we talking about?
Wait, you guys are comedians?
Oh, nice. Okay, you took an attack on us. That was reverse. That was reverse.
Yeah, draw 4.
But so the small box game.
Yeah, so we created, Pete did the artwork, and we had like, it cost us like fucking couple $100 to like print it, just for one, right? And we kept playing it with our friends, and friends were getting involved into it, and we'll think we should do something with this. We never did. We were all like fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Then COVID happened.
Perfect. Right as you're about to...
Ray lost his job. Pete lost his job. I was doing nothing. And we're like, should we put on Kickstarter? Let's see if it works.
Whoa.
We put on Kickstarter. We raised $25,000.
What?
Yeah.
How?
People liked the idea.
Also, you just get a full rundown.
So we had we made a fake commercial. We made a commercial, but people playing it. We showed what you get in it and all that kind of stuff, and we put it out there.
$25,000.
Oh, because you got the demo pack as well.
Yeah. So we had the original prototype, and we're showing you how to play it, and $25,000. It cost us about probably $20,000 to print, like 1,000 copies.
Wow.
Yeah, and we sent out all the ones. We still got about like 300 left.
Yeah.
Me and unfortunately Ray decided he wants to leave the company because he's got his own life now and he's working on other stuff.
He had sex with a woman, and he's like, I don't need to be playing
pretty much
board games anymore.
Yeah, and me and Peter are thinking, let's just take it. Me and Pete take it to a publisher, and hopefully they will take it on board, and then they print it. They take all the costs, but then we get our cut from it.
Dang. Do you have so it's like properly
it's proper
animated and everything like that with the
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, I would love to see kind of just like what we're talking about. Did you have to create all these wrestling characters within the game as well?
Well, you don't usually use characters. You're the character. You don't have to use the characters. You just are the character in the game.
Right.
Hold on.
Gosh, what a crazy situation.
Sorry, just got to respond to this real quick.
Yeah.
No, we'll wait.
Yeah, just wait.
Guys, no, it's a request from a funnier podcast.
And to give Liz a little moment, I'm just doing something on my phone. Sorry, Liz, you're one listener.
She's like, it's okay, Seizure, I'll wait.
Oh, Liz is the loveliest person.
We love Liz, everyone. We love Liz.
Right.
Inside baseball. Okay, what do we got here?
All right, so we're watching the trailer here.
Main event. Power Slam Wrestling.
Power Slam card game. Oh, it looks great.
A fast-paced
Okay, so you got like cartoon characters. They're in like wrestling positions.
Easy to pick up, but hard to throw.
Everyone in the
who's
commercials
doing
are real wrestler.
Really? Who's doing the voice here?
Comedian Al DeBenny.
Wow, they've got a great voice.
Win the match by using the.
That looks like a really good game. I'm not even joking. Actually looking at the artwork and
You
everything.
got a pin to win. So bring your wrestling gear, your brains,
That's the
and your
coolest video
claws.
game,
Out-wrestle your
the
friends,
coolest card
family,
game
and opponents
players
to
you could
become
possibly
the
find.
Power Slam champion. Power Slam provides non-stop wrestling action. 2 to 4 players, age 7 and up, and features multiple game
Who's
modes
doing like
to
the
keep you
animation for
playing.
that? Is that the
Peter.
same? Oh, right.
Power Slam is now available. So what are you waiting for? Got a Power Slam today.
Oh, there we go. A little bit of a comedic element. She jumped up on the table and went to... And that goes on to the story of the second time you were choked out playing Power Slam.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I could get a plug in. That's the only reason I came to this fucking podcast.
Nice. Yeah, and you will. It's like, yes, Seizure, I'll get it, definitely.
Funnily enough, so you've had... have you guys had a killer on the podcast?
Yes, we have.
And Alan Fang and Lockie, because
Yeah.
Lachlan lives with me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
So one afternoon,
That's weird. He was telling me you were living with him.
he can go suck my fucking dick. Anyway, so one day I'm upstairs, right? I'm in my room, and I can hear them talking. And,
Who?
Alan, Akila, and Lachlan.
Oh,
They're all
yeah.
hanging in my living room. My living room. And,
Nice. Yeah, just to make sure that that's known.
and I heard them say, "What's this Power Slam thing?" Right? And Lachlan was like, "Oh, I think it's the game Seizure, mate." I'm like, yeah, he made a game, and they were like making fun of it.
And you're literally like
So-
ear pressed against like the top of the stairs.
So, well, no, but they're talking loudly. I can hear them, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to show these motherfuckers. So I came down, showed them the game. They fucking loved it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. They're
All
like,
right,
that's
kids,
actually fucking fun.
shoes off.
Yeah.
That's part of the game.
They're like, oh yeah, no, this is great. So we're gonna still have spots and everything. Yeah, oh yeah, we love this game.
I was like, no, you're never getting a spot. But just play the game. Because I left them to play it. Like,
Yeah.
So I showed them like a couple rounds. I'm like, okay, so you guys got the idea.
Yeah.
And then I left, and then next morning, Lachlan's like, "Yeah, I fucking beat them." I was like, "You beat him? How?" Because he was losing when I left.
Wow.
Yeah. So they had heaps of fun playing it.
Gosh.
Dang.
Good demographic. The 3 incels
Oh yeah, yeah.
as well to really test the game out on.
But it's a game that like you don't have to know anything about wrestling to enjoy,
Which is very nice. There's a lot of people that don't really follow wrestling.
yeah,
like
yeah. So
that,
that's why we
which
didn't
is-
make it based on any wrestlers or
Yeah.
any wrestling federation. We're just like, it's a game they can play. We could have changed it to a different like orcs and something or whatever.
Yeah.
But I love wrestling. That's why I created it. And the moves and there's a thing called the pin mechanic. We have to pin an opponent.
Yeah.
No other game has what we have. You know, I completely created this on my own.
Yeah.
And and it just works. And that every review we got, because we sent it to a whole bunch of reviewers during that Kickstarter time, people were like, this pin mechanic's so much fun. Gosh. You can just play the game with a pin. Fuck
Yeah.
the rest of the game. But the game is fun, so do play it.
I was going to say, I wonder if there is some sort of an angle where you can make a deal with WWE.
I tried.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, I didn't try
WWE.
WWE. I tried AEW.
What's AEW?
They're the next biggest promotion.
Okay, yeah.
CM Punk's in it.
Oh,
And
nice.
they did that whole news story about it. All that shit. So, because they were a new company, I was like trying. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, they were trying.
Sorry, Liz, he's just got a little bit again.
Yeah. No. This is important. Sorry.
It's a good bit either way.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it regardless.
Fuck off the pencil.
What's going on with you?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Cold.
sauna in my gym's pretty
is
funny.
it? Yeah. It's been a bit cold recently as well.
It has, yeah.
It's a good time to sauna when it's actually really cold like that.
It is funny, like putting in like a story in brackets here.
Oh yeah, it'd
Do you
be
know what I mean?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally perfect. So the story at gym, we're doing a story as Seizures. Oh, are we done? Are you done?
Kind of. I'm going to be paying attention to both. There's a situation.
No,
where
and I
have
like
to-
it.
We
I like
we
it.
can wrap in a minute actually. We
Yep.
didn't even get to everything I wanted to get to.
What
but
do you want to get to?
I want to get into some juicy stuff.
we're,
Okay,
we're-
cancel
what's a
is good
juicy-
we are at
enough,
an
yeah.
hour,
Yeah, we are at the hour.
and I don't want to hold you forever. Is it?
Fuck.
Yeah.
We should end on a little bit of juiciness. What's like a juicy element of your life? You had your anti-Semitic period, your almost dying, going to LA. Are there any other juicy periods? Because
Well, how about I leave everyone on a cliffhanger, and that way I can come back.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
What's a...
So there was this time I started in 2 porn films. All right, anyway, guys, it was a good. This has been a good podcast.
Is this legit?
Yes, legit.
Are we gonna have to tickle this a little bit?
No, we're not. We're gonna
yeah,
save
we're
it for the
gonna do
next.
that one.
Seizure, thanks so much
Yeah,
for coming
thank
on.
you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
It was a lot of fun,
That
and
was
And don't forget to check out the live show.
booyah!
Yeah, live show tonight, everyone. Come tonight.
Live show was a week ago.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Ah.
So it's last week, everyone. It was great.
Yeah. Peace out, doggies.
Peace. Woo!